Welcome to chapter 20 shit. You know what would be good once if I checked. If I was like, you know what, before I just hit record, I'm going to see what episode I'm up to. No idea. Welcome to chapter 23, maybe 22 rings a bell from last week. You know what, I'm going to go with 23, and I hope I'm right. If I'm not right, laugh at me. If I am, congrats, Luke. Well done. What's been happening this week? I hope you've all had a good week. What's been happening to me? Oh yeah, the whole Jackson O'Doherty thing. That was a meme. Got like a week of content out of that. It was grass. So if you didn't see it, essentially Jackson O'Doherty, he's a popular Australian Facebook entertainer, and he essentially permanently borrowed my "You Don't Own Me" videos that I do where I ignore the signs. And I'll admit, that's not an original concept. That wasn't my gripe. It wasn't like, who's standing in front of signs and doing the opposite? That's not my idea. That's not my joke. What I was annoyed about initially, it was just the same. Like, he just used a different song, and it was more the way it was filmed and executed and then uploaded within 3 weeks of mine going viral. I thought that was very... I was like, wow, what a coincidence that we are both from the same country. Has definitely seen mine, and he was even wearing the sunglasses and zooming in his face and stuff. But like people, it was a whole thing. Like I did a review on him, not stealing, borrowing my video permanently, and it hit the front page of Reddit, and it got like 100,000 views on YouTube, which is the most views I've ever gotten on YouTube. Like, usually my shit goes big on Facebook, not YouTube at all. So that was pretty funny. And he's actually messaged me during the week. We've been in contact, and he was really good about it. He ended up giving me credit in the comments and stuff. So to his credit, he was very good about it. So the main thing is it's over now, and you guys can all stop commenting shit on his video, okay? So I didn't tell you all to comment. So during the week, if you didn't see it, when I first saw the video, a few people sent it to me. That's how I found out about it. You guys started going, this guy's copying you. Oi, Luke, rip this guy a new asshole. Fuck him up, man. Like, just absolutely wanting me to go to town on him for a week. And I did. But he was really good about it. So yeah, and you guys started commenting on his video like, you stole this, and then he started deleting and banning you guys. I didn't say to do that, but you did. But now you can stop because he's given me credit, and we've talked about it, and it's all good. So that's the thing. I'm not going to read out the messages he sent. It's over now. But it was a fun week, that's for sure. I got like a week of content out of it. It was sick. It made, like, I didn't even have to do anything else for a week. So yeah, but obviously I delayed another music review, which should be coming this week. I've got a couple of videos coming this week, actually. But yeah, so that was fun. That was a meme. You know what's funny about it? When I made that, I posted this thing on Instagram and Facebook about you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about, like a meme. And it was a picture of Jackson and I, and it looked very similar because our videos were very similar. And I was showing my mum because I was telling her about what had happened. And oh my god, has anyone ever tried to explain a meme to their mum? Or someone, not even their mum, has anyone ever tried to explain what a meme is to someone who isn't on social media at all and is over the age of 50? Holy shit. Like, I don't even know where to begin, because, you know, when you teach like an old person how to send an email or how to go on the internet, they can go, oh, just click this, click that, and it's a series of steps. Do you know how hard it is to explain like memes are such a weird in-joke thing where if you're not on the internet, it's just you would look at it, read the text, look at the photo, and just be confused if you didn't get what the latest meme is. That's the thing, because it's such an in-joke thing. That's what the whole internet culture is. If you're not part of it, you just won't get it at all. And I was trying to like bring my mum up to speed with the you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about meme, which is a very basic format. It's just someone less good, and then your girlfriend's telling you not to worry about a guy or a girl, something that's better. So it might be like a picture of a nerd, like an ugly guy, and then a picture of Ryan Gosling, and it's like, you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about, and everyone's like, haha, Ryan Gosling is attractive. So I showed Mum my one. It was like me sitting next to like Jackson, and then I'm the guy she just tells her not to worry about, and holy shit, she just could not wrap her head around it. It was like 15 minutes later, I was like, Mum, it doesn't matter. This isn't going anywhere, this conversation. She's like, no, I think I get it. So is the joke that you're letting everyone know that you're not worrying about what Jackson did to your video? Yes, Mum. That's the joke. Please go. Please leave. And then she's like, oh, I told you I get the joke. Holy shit. It's like most parents get it, but my mum's not on Facebook and stuff, so she was just lost. By the end, I just felt bad for her. She could have said anything. I would have been like, yep, that's the joke. So yeah, what else has been happening? I was just exhausted this whole week because I already had a bunch of shit to do, and then on Monday night when I came home from work, this copying thing came up, and I was like, oh, now I gotta wreck this dude for an entire week. It's only fair. So that kind of like took up a lot of time, and I still had like 3 or 4 gigs this week, so I was still going out every night. But during the day, I was doing like 9-hour days of filming, editing, and writing, and then I was going out. And by the time I got to the gigs, I was exhausted, and I was just like, I just cracked the shits. You know when you get so tired that the little things you flip you the fuck out? It was like Wednesday night at a gig, and I was just really tired, and I was done. I was like, don't want to go to this gig, but I committed, so I was like, whatever, I'll go, do my shitty 5 minutes, then I'll leave. So I was there, and I was fuming for stage, wasn't speaking to anyone. All the other comics were like, oh, like, Luke, what's up? And I was like, yeah, good. I was just being an asshole, pretty much. And there was this piece of gum on the floor that I didn't see. I stepped on the piece of gum, so immediately realized I had a sticky foot, so I cracked the shits. So then spent the next 15 minutes like got a stick off the ground because it was an outdoor gig. Spent 15 minutes sitting on a chair instead of practicing my set and resting, just flicking this gum out of my shoe, like picking at it with a stick. 15 minutes later, I'd finally gotten most of it out. I was like, fine, I give up. Got the gum out. Then I threw this, like, by the end there was like just a big chunk of gum on this stick. Threw the stick away, and I was like, good, whatever, that's not my problem anymore. Alright, about to go on stage, and literally like 30 seconds before I was about to be called on stage, I was just wandering around the back area, and I just hear this like crunch and then a bit of like resistance as I step, and I was like, oh shit. I look down. Now the gum stick is stuck to my foot. Now the gum and now the stick that I'd used to get rid of the gum is stuck. It's just firm. Holy shit. You have no idea. It was the angriest set. It was also 35 degrees. I was running off 3 hours sleep, and I just got gum sticked. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I've never been angrier on stage. Walked up there, welcome to the stage, Luke Kidgell. Walked up there, and I was like, yeah, so I saw a lizard crossing the street the other day, and usually this is like a really happy story, and the lizard just looked at me, and then everyone was just like, why is he so angry at a lizard? And then I literally had to explain, like, I ended up using it in my set, and it ended up going really well, but I was like, I just ended up just embracing the fact that I'd just been gum sticked, told the gum stick story, showed them the gum on my foot. Everyone then felt bad for me, so they gave me sympathy laughs throughout the rest of the set, because I'd just been gum sticked like an idiot. But it's just the people who put their gum on the ground, stick it under a table or under a bench or under a chair like everyone else. It's so selfish to throw it on the ground. Just, like, imagine if I just was like, oh, hang on, just wait there, man, and then got, like, a jar of honey and just poured it all over your front steps and was like, alright, continue. You'd be like, you asshole. I don't want this shit on my feet. So then you use a bloody stick to get all the honey out, and then 5 minutes later, you go, oh yeah, man, just pass me that honey stick. And you're like, cool, yeah, you dispose of it for me. And then you're about to catch the bus, and on the bus, I put the honey stick down, and you go, and the honey stick, you're like, bro, I just cleaned my shoe with it. This is the worst metaphor, because it's exactly the same as what happened to me. It's not even a metaphor, it's just another example of being sticky-footed Literally, oh my god, that's a good joke. I had a sticky foot because of stick and gum. Shit, I should have said that on stage. I'm glad I didn't because that's pretty bad. Alright, next thing. Oh, I forgot to do the fun fact at the start. I always forget to do the fun fact. It's supposed to be the first thing, the podcast, to get us all G'd up and ready and in a good mood, just overjoyed for the rest of the day. But I started off really angry. That's good now. Now I'm just going to bring the podcast back. It's been a very ranty, angry start. But now if we just put all that behind us and just bring the podcast back with a really fun fact, I reckon we could have a real good time from this point onwards. So I asked all you guys to send in your fun facts during the week. You guys need fucking help. All of you. Anyone who sent in one, pretty much, actually 95% of people, they were just all about rape. Every single fun fact was about rape. I didn't say send in really fun facts. I said send in fun facts. So, look, I'm not going to read those ones because that's not a fun fact. So, I'm going to read, this one's there was literally one I could read. There was there was two. There was one that said, this one's not a fun fact. I just wanted to point out that it's not really that sad. Someone sent in this, more people have access to a mobile phone than a toilet. No, that's not true, okay? There's trees everywhere. You can take a shit or a piss wherever you want. I'm pretty sure there's more trees in the world than mobile phones, just saying. So therefore, that's not a fact. Yes, there might be more people who have access to a mobile phone than a flushable toilet or a hygienic toilet or a toilet that won't give you life-threatening diseases, but if anyone can shit in a hole, okay? That's all I'm saying. We've all been camping, so just wanted to point out, not really a fact. But alright, this is this week's fun fact sent in by David. So I hope you're just a real pepper. Remember, this isn't some people have been messaging me, hey man, the fun facts aren't actually that fun. I don't think you know what a fun fact is. I often laugh when I think about them later in the week, and I'm like, there are lots of kids under forced labor conditions in Somalia. It just gets me where I need to be during the week. So, fun fact from David. He says, in 2012, one of the most requested Christmas gifts by children in the UK was a father. So, that's a pretty fun fact. Some of them might have been orphans or just maybe dad's not around, so they asked Santa. What would you rather? A father or an Xbox? or what would you rather? A father or a PlayStation 1? Because a father doesn't come with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 or 2. So, you know what this segment needs? To just end it like a little noise and that was the fun facts. And then we just move on and never reference it again. Because, the rest of the podcast is so light. It's so fun. I talk about fat birds and, give relationship advice to you all. And everyone's like, oh, good little podcast, Luke. And then it gets to the fun fact. And it's so much lighter. You know what I mean? It becomes the point of light entertainment where it's put that shit on after the news. It's Hey Hate Saturday, very family kind of, it's a very family fun segment. So that's what I wanted to point out, how kind of different it is to the rest of the podcast. The rest of the podcast, PG, maybe M, but the fun fact is just E for educational, not even G rated. So yeah, that's the fun fact. All right, I'm gonna move on to something different now. Announcement: podcast location change. I repeat, podcast location change. So, God, that must have been confusing. So, about an hour ago, I was recording the first half of the podcast that you guys have just finished listening to until I started yelling, location change. So I was reminded, literally, as I was about to move on to talk about the next thing there, I was reminded that I had to I had to reshoot a couple of things for a video for this company that I'm working with at the moment, and the deadline of the video was today, so I had to quickly organize a reshoot and stuff. So I'm now no longer in my bedroom yelling. I'm in my car yelling. I'm going to finish recording the podcast. I'll do another 15-20 minutes while everyone's setting up for the video, and then so the podcast might be a little bit shorter, but I quickly, before I left, grabbed my microphone, grabbed my laptop, and I was like, I'm going to yell in the car, because I'm just, I'm dedicated to bringing you guys 7 out of 10 content every goddamn week, and you guys should be thankful of that. So, sorry about that. That was very jarring, me starting yelling about location change, but if the podcast sounds a bit different, that is why. So what I wanted to keep talking about, oh, right, how white I am. Oh, no, that's this whole podcast. I keep forgetting. No, I did want to say, though, that, like, the thing about that gum story from earlier, or for you, like, 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, that was honestly the worst thing that's happened all week. Like, think about how sick my life is. Like, I mean, it was horrible, obviously. Like, it was tragic, but I had a nightmare about it last night. Like, those ones where you're running away from someone and you're trying to run, but you can't. Usually you just run slower. Like, I always have these dreams where I'm like, if I'm ever running away from someone, I do running in real life. So then I get in a dream situation and I'm like, good, I'm going to smoke this person. I'm going to Usain Bolt them out of the park. And then I just start running and I can't really run that fast in a dream. Well, like last night, I stepped on gum and then my foot stuck to the ground. And then legitimately, the other foot, I stepped on a gum stick. And I was like, oh my God, I've just re-stepped in my gum stick. I got gum sticked for the second time this week. It was devastating. But that, honestly, how white is that? What a white person thing to do. Like, some people might dream of food or clean drinking water, or proper irrigation in their village, or they don't even know what irrigation is. That's the thing. And I'm like, man, hopefully I don't step on another piece of gum this week. Do you know how depressing it was? Like, I threw this stick on the ground. I'm just recovering on ground right now, but I threw the stick, I cracked it. It was like, when I'd finished picking the gum out of my shoe, I threw it in anger, like 10 meters away, or as far as the stick will go. And then I was just kind of forgot where I threw it, and then re-stepped on my gum stick. Felt like a goose. Felt like such an idiot. Anyway, on the way here, actually, on the way driving to where we're shooting the video, I saw 2 of the whitest things. Here's my 2 observations from the way here. 2 really white things you'll only ever see in the first world. 1, leaf blowers. Dude, they are the whitest invention of all time. Like, the whole concept of a leaf blower is that they don't suck up the leaves. They don't remove the leaves. That you just relocate the leaves. So to make it like, you relocate them so it's someone else's problem. So this is how leaf blowers work. Like, in a really white neighborhood, if everyone owns a leaf blower, a leaf falls from a tree, lands on a guy's lawn, and some guy's like, I don't want that leaf on my driveway. And he goes, and then blows it to his neighbor's driveway. And then the neighbor could either blow the leaf back or blow the leaf to the next neighbor. And then the other white male comes out and goes, and blows the leaf. And by the end of the week, you're blowing the same leaves around your street. People get that, right? Like, you see people clearing. This is what I saw on the way here. Some guy, he had a bunch of leaves in his driveway, and he's blowing them down his driveway, and then he just blew them all out on the road. I'm like, A, dude, they're just going to blow straight back onto your fucking driveway. B, what do you mean? Like, what's it? It's such a white person thing going, these leaves are no longer my problem because they're not on my property. They're still in your street. You haven't fixed the leaf problem. Maybe you should try, like, I don't know, putting them in a bin and then they'll be taken away, or like putting them, I don't know what you do with leaves. But the point is, blowing leaves is such a temporary solution. Don't get me wrong, one of the better inventions. It beats sweeping 100%. Sweeping's also dumb, but at least you can sweep it into a pile. Leaf blowing is just giving someone else the burden of your leaves. Like, whoever has that, like the council, I don't know who cleans the roads, but either way, you've created a problem for someone else, your neighbor or the council, or I don't know, some kid riding a scooter down your road, and you've blown a stick in the middle of the road, and then he goes boom, and then his scooter hits the front of the stick, does a flip, and then he hits the ground, and like he's bleeding out of his mouth, and he tries to get up, but he can't because he realizes that there's gum on the stick, and the gum's pulling him to the ground, and he's just like, third time this week, this is bullshit. I realize that I'm just yelling in my car like a psychopath. Other people just must be so scared of me. I look like you know what it is? Because I'm in like a kind of empty-ish car park. I look like I'm waiting for a drug deal. Like if cops came, like this has happened before. This is in a different car park, but I don't know if you haven't listened to the last episodes. There's one episode where I'm recording the podcast in a car like this, and a cop car came up behind me, and I was in a no parking area, and I was like, either like they're gonna find me for that, or they're just gonna think I'm a drug dealer. I don't know what's worse. Definitely the drug dealer. But anyway. That's the thing. The point, yeah, and the second widest thing. What was I talking about? Yeah, the two widest things. So leaf blowers, then they just don't achieve anything. That's my point. And the other thing, this isn't a really good podcast, is it? Is this interesting? I don't know. Those houses that have like they've got really nice green, like very watered gardens. So they have a sign that says recycled water in use. How white is that? Like, that's the whitest thing. That your garden is so nice, so well manicured, and so well kept that you have to justify why. By saying, no, I promise we're not using, like, I don't care what water you're using in your garden, man. You don't need a sign that states it. I was just like, you're kidding me. No one gives a shit what water you're using, man. Like, good on ya. You're a hero. It's like literally giving yourself a badge, going like, I'm saving the environment. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. Anyway, I'm mad. This is a really angry podcast. I've just had a big week. I'm tired. You know, I've talked about the worst thing that happened all week. You know what the second worst thing that happened all week? And this just shows you how bad the gum thing was, because this also sucks. I was really tired, but a few of my mates were going out for one of his birthdays, so I had to get around it. So I'd been up since like, I think I was editing till like 3 a.m, then woke up at like 7 or 8 in the morning and kept going all day. And that was the day I put out the Jackson review. And then I went out that night, and the night started off good. And I'm so sorry. I met a couple of you that night. I met one guy who listened to the podcast, and I think I met another guy as well. But like I met one guy who listened to the podcast in Melbourne Central, and I was so tired. And I think he listens to the podcast. Dude, I'm so sorry. I came off as like an asshole. I don't know. I think I came off as an asshole. He was like, oh, can I get a photo? And I was like, yeah, of course. And then I didn't smile in it. And I gave like a thumbs up. And I just felt like, and he walked away. Like, I felt like he was just like, what a prick. Like, I'm sorry, man. I was really tired, but I was so appreciative that you recognized me. That was really cool. Anyway, so I was out having fun. And then it always gets to the point of night where you have drinks at one place and that place gets a bit old. So you go, like, let's hit somewhere else. And usually it's like a nightclub or whatever. And I'm not like a nightclub guy. Like, I'm like a bar guy. I don't like nightclubs. So we're like, oh, we're meeting a friend. He's on Chapel Street. And I was thinking then, I'm like, man, if we end up at Revs, I'm gonna neck myself. Like, no way. So we go to this other place just down the road. And I'm right there. And I was like, holy shit, this is worse. I've been to Revs before, and like, this is worse. Well, what I remember from Revs, this is worse. So we get there, I'm not having fun. Like, $10 Coronas. You kidding me? Like, I'm not paying your oh, I hate those places. Anyway, there were all those like weird hipster dudes in like leopard skin leggings, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, what have you brought me to? I was cracking it up my mate, and I wasn't having fun, because again, I'm running off like not many hours sleep, like 4 hours sleep, and then like from 2 days in a row. I was like, all right. So then we go out, and then I cracked the shits, and I was like, I want to go. And everyone, I started pissing everyone off like an asshole. And they were like, fine, we'll go. And I'm like, anywhere but here, anywhere. And I was at the point where I was like, I will literally. And they're like, what about Revs? And I was at that point of the night where I was like, fine, I'll go to Revs. Have you ever said something that you know you'll immediately regret? Like, let's go to Revs. If you don't know what it is for overseas people, it's like, it's a cross between a bar and like imagine the worst bar you've ever been to, and then imagine the worst night, like the seediest, grossest, like stainy, like cum-stained nightclub you've ever been to, and then imagine like a bunch of coked up pingheads pretending to have fun in a room full of overpriced beer and ecstasy. And that is Revolver. And holy shit, I've been there before, like, but on like, oh, this was also on a weeknight. But like, dude, the place, it's like a tactical move. They purposely don't put lights in the place so you can't see the stains on the couches. Like, if you shine, like, you know those blue like, I don't know what they call, like, those infrared lights where they shine on hotel rooms and you can see all the stains and shit? Dude, if you did that in Revolver, they wouldn't be like, oh, there's a stain. The whole room would be a stain. Like, it's just a stain on society. It's literally and figuratively a fucking stain. Like, I have never had less fun in a room. Like, I think I could be... Like, you know that movie 27 hours where the guy's his arm stuck between a rock and, like, that he's in that cave? That is like seemed like a more fun cave. Like, I would have more fun trying to amputate my own arm than oh my god, it was the worst. Like, and the music's like the type of music that they play is like ding 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 for like hours. I was probably only there for half an hour because that's all I could bear, and the song didn't change once. Holy shit. I don't get why people go out regularly. Like, some people go, what are we doing tonight, boys? And they intentionally go, we're going to Revs. We didn't leave the house with the intention of ending up there. It just kind of happened, and it was a mistake. And look, it's giving me content for the podcast, but it's not worth it in the end. Like, I would have rather just ended the podcast early and not... I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's not even that funny. Dude, it's really sad. Like, the people who were there, it was like 2 a.m., and you just like, it's a Thursday night, and I'm like, and they were probably looking at me like, what is this dude doing? And I was looking at them, I'm like, you guys are cooked. So if you're just in there, you automatically are one of them. So I was a part of it. It was embarrassing. Like, I really hope, like, if I had have run into someone there, like, oh my god, I would have been a prick to you. I wouldn't have got a photo. I would have been like, dude, there's not enough flash you could use to make this photo not dimly lit still. This place is like the darkest hole I've ever been to. It was so weird. Like, our entire night was like the Harry Potter franchise. Like, it started off really fun, and like everyone got like sorted in. Like, oh, we all got cocktails. We all got sorted into our houses, and then we had a couple of adventures on the way. We got an Uber, blah blah blah. Then we went to Chapel Street. It starts getting darker. It's like, oh shit, we're at like Goblet of Fire now. Voldemort's back. I'm like, oh, I'm not having fun. And then by the end, like, it gets so much, like, by the end of the opening credits, as soon as we walk into Revs, it's just like the Warner Brothers thing, in like with lightning in the background, and everything's like dimly lit, and Hagrid's not even like the fun, lovable character he was at the start. And you're like, what happened to our night? But unlike Harry Potter though, it was shit. That was the worst analogy. The point is, the night just got darker and darker until I cracked the shits and kind of forced everyone into an Uber, and then we went home. But our Uber driver was sick, man. You know when you get a sick Uber driver and you just like, you give him 5 stars in the first, you already got in your mind that he's got 5 stars in the first 5 minutes because he gives your mate in the back seat advice on how to finger some chick. You're like, dude, you wouldn't get that in a taxi. Okay, that's only would happen in an Uber. And that was pretty funny. Anyway, what am I talking about? You guys don't care about my life. I talk about my own stories too much on this shit. On this shit podcast. Alright, I'm going to answer your questions, then I'm going to go out and film this video. And, alright. The first question is, hey Luke, call me Melvin. Why? Out of all the names, like all the fake names you could choose, Melvin. I have a serious problem when I drink. I'm lanky with no body fat at all, so alcohol gets me drunk quick. Lightweight. Yeah, that's you. That actually used to be me and still kind of is. When I drink, I get extremely horny and try and hump anything that moves. So that's where we differ. But really, you try and hump anything that moves? You could have said any human that moves. Anything, man. You're like, would you hump a car if the car was going pretty slow, like down a back street? Would you try and get in on the exhaust pipe, or like if there's some like rich old white dude blowing the leaves off his lawn, will you just get your dick out and go, oh come, just get me one of them, and just like, is that anything that moves? You should have been more specific. Alright, I'm gonna keep reading your question. This has led me to doing a 4 in my mate's tent and a 6 in someone's backyard. This is only a couple of the handful. What's your advice? Wow. A 4 in my mate's tent. Sounds shit. My advice would be don't drink then. Like if you know you get like really like a bit rapey and a bit horny when you're drunk, either drink around the boys and hopefully you don't try and jump one of them. Or if they do, they'll probably just punch you in the face. But if you know you're gonna be like that around girls, and especially if you want to try and get with someone you really like, don't drink, man. You know, it's not a necessity that you have to get drunk and horny on a Saturday. And I bet you're one of those dudes as well who are very like really quiet, completely the opposite during the week. Like on Wednesday and Thursday, you'll be like very conservative, you know, have a cup of tea with a few colleagues at work. Come Friday, you might wash down your dinner with a Mountain Dew. And then come Saturday, have 10 beers, fuck a leaf blower, then do a 4 in your mate's tent, back to work on Monday. Like you're absolutely, yeah, it's sad, man. You shouldn't drink. That'd be my advice. Or just don't drink that much. You say that alcohol affects you quick, find your limits and then stop, because no one likes that guy, man. Like, I'm sure the 4 or the 6 enjoyed it. Actually, they probably didn't. I bet you, like, if you looked at it from her side of the story, she probably told her mate the next day. Like, she's probably emailing some girl podcast like, oh my God, I got so drunk, fuck some 2 in a tent. What do I do? Like, have you ever thought that she was also banging you because she was drunk and horny? You just think you're that much of a stud that you're like, man, I always lower myself when I get drunk. Anyway, that'll be my advice. Don't drink, man. But and that should stop happening. That's pretty basic advice. I think I'm just gonna answer 2 today, just because I gotta go soon. I think they're almost done setting up. They've probably done ages ago actually, because I shitted on about Revs for too long. This one is from Pooh Boy. Okay, that's a weird name. I hope that's not his name. Because he sent me another email afterwards that said, keep me anonymous in my previous email, please. I assume your name isn't Pooh Boy, so I'm just going to call you Pooh Boy anyway. Hey Luke, I recently started school and there is a really hot new girl in my class. The only problem is that she has a twin brother. How do I get around the brother and slowly win this girl over? Thanks, Luke. Good luck with your show. Thank you, man. That's a good question. How do you win? So she's twin sister and twin brother, and you're in with a sister. But are you mates with the brother? Because that also, if you're not mates with the brother, shouldn't matter. Shouldn't have to get around him either. He probably won't care. I know a twin brother and sister, and I've spoken to. It's pretty weird. The twin sister is dating one of her twin brother's best mates. Super weird for the dudes. Not as weird for the sister, really, because they're not friends. But, like, yeah, it's more weird for the guy, I guess. So if you want his permission, I would say don't bother. Like, it's his own sister's life. I mean, is he overprotect? You haven't given me much information. Is he an overprotective twin brother? There's so many different. This is a hard question to answer when all I've got is, I like this girl. I think she's hot. I want to touch her tits, but she's got a twin brother. Please help, dude. Like, is the twin brother an asshole? If he's an asshole, don't even go there. Like, you'll get bashed up. If he's a nice guy, I'm sure he'd be happy for his sister. If you're really nice to his sister, bought her lunch, took her out on a nice date, and he's like, oh, hey, I saw you hanging out with my sister. He might be like, make sure you treat her right. And you'd be like, hey, man, I will. And then you go root her in a tent and then email the podcast about it. So my serious advice, so this is what I do. I do one bagging the shit out of everyone who sends in a question, and then another, okay, this is what I would do. I would be really nice to the brother, because she said she's a new girl, in your class. Therefore, I assume the brother is also new, like they both moved schools together. I would maybe befriend the brother, not to a point where you're best friends, so then you can't get with his sister, but be friendly to the brother, but be way more friendly to the girl. Like really try and get in with the girl while being distant but nice to the brother, and therefore he won't have anything against you if you do get in with the sister. But if you become, don't become too close of friends with the twin brother if you want his sister that bad. But just because, it's dogging the boys to root your mate's sister. That's not cool. So, especially twin sister, they probably have some weird bond. Anyway, look, that's my best advice. Would be distant to the brother, but be really nice and friendly, but really try and more focus on the girl, and almost do it the same as how you talk to any other girl, and just kind of pretend. I don't think the brother really has a lot to do with it. I think you're overthinking the situation. I think just be nice to the girl, and the brother should be happy for you, unless he's an asshole. So that's it. That's the podcast this week, guys. I've got to go. Melbourne shows are still on sale. People keep messaging me about when's the national tour going on sale, and messaging me isn't going to make it go on sale any quicker. My answer to you all is hopefully the first week of March, if not the week after, but it will be, just bear with me, venues are being very difficult and stuff, but it's all getting organised as we speak. So thank you very much for bearing with me, and I look forward to seeing you all on tour. Keep joining the mailing list at www.lukekidgell.com. I have a mate of mine who cracks the shit. I always say www. There's 3 W's. It's a World Wide Web, dickhead. So www.lukekidgell.com. Join the cult. I'll send you an email when tickets come on. I'll also probably send another cult update soon, just to let you all know what's happening in the cult. If you don't know what it is, it's a weird in-joke where you all sign up to a satanic cult, and I have your email address and I know where you live. So sign up to that. Sounds like a hoot, doesn't it? Alright, I've got to go. Hopefully you all have a good week, and there'll be a couple of videos coming this week, hopefully. And I'll keep working hard if you guys keep getting around my shit. So thanks very much, and leave a review on iTunes. Actually, this is one thing I had to mention before I go. I was mentioning it last week. My girlfriend Emily, I'm going to try and do the podcast with her this week, so it should be next week's podcast. I'll be with my girlfriend Emily, and I need you guys to all send in questions for us. It could be a relationship question. It could be like a question just about your relationship. You can ask her a question about me. If you want to find out some dirt on me, I'm sure she'd be very happy to spill. So anything that will be funny pretty much for us to answer. We've got a few, but send in a few more, and it should be a really fun episode. And I've already got the question of how we met and stuff. So I thought that would be interesting for you guys to get to know my girlfriend Emily, because she's a very important part of my life, but doesn't really get mentioned that much on the podcast. So have a good week, and I'll catch you later, boys and girls and hermaphrodites. It's 2017. Do what you want. All right, you can have a dick and a vagina and still enjoy this podcast. I'm going to shut up. All right, bye.